Hi and welcome, namaste to everybody. Today's topic is understanding the spiritual awakening journey, and I also want to speak about the dark night of the soul, and I also want to speak about the stages of the spiritual awakening. Now, at some moment in life, some individuals go through a massive shift in consciousness, and I believe that this is actually a collective thing where individuals are really opening their DNA structure, okay? They are really awakening their inner senses, their higher intuition. And the first stage of a spiritual awakening is the awakening itself, okay? So you may have lived in a way that was not serving you, and with the purpose of the awakening, you realize that there is something new to life. You realize that there is actually a higher potential to life, and you are really going through a massive shift in consciousness. You are really awakening your DNA structure, and this is really a beautiful thing. And this is the first stage of the awakening, the awakening itself. Now, I have experienced this back in 2014, and I was realizing that it is actually a gift from the universe. It is a gift for me to really open my mind into a new state, to really discover secrets about life and about my potential, secrets about my inner world and how it is connected to the outer world, how it is connected to the universe itself, okay? So I was realizing that in those moments everything was possible. I was really experiencing the bliss of the awakening, and the first stage is the awakening itself, okay? So when you are really awakening your DNA structure, you are really unblocking stuck energy that is in your chakra system. You are really unblocking your gifts. You are really opening your mind into a new state. Now, if you understand your spiritual awakening, you realize that maybe there is also a darker side attached to it. And that is the second stage, and that may be the dark night of the soul, okay? Now, the dark night of the soul is the death of the ego. The dark night of the soul is maybe a really rough process. It is something that will really make you want to go as deep as possible within yourself. And in the dark night of the soul, you realize that the only way out is actually in. So I was realizing that in the dark night of the soul, I really had to learn to accept myself. I had to learn to really deal with my own shadows, deal with my own pain, and really get to experience the darkness in order to learn something, okay? So in the dark night of the soul, it feels like your ego is dying. It feels like you are going through the process of death and rebirth, okay? And I'm realizing that the dark night of the soul is actually a gift, okay? It is not something negative. It's more likely something that will give you the opportunity to really mature yourself at a spiritual level. It is something that will give you the opportunity to really raise your consciousness into a more balanced and grounded state, okay? So the dark night of the soul may be rough, but in those moments you really have to learn to respect yourself. In those moments you have to learn to love yourself. In those moments you have the opportunity to get to know things about yourself, about your belief systems, about your thought patterns, about your traumas, about your imperfections, okay? About negative experiences that are happening into your life, okay? So the dark night of the soul is not easy, but it is something that may happen because you need to heal yourself. It is something that may happen because it has the purpose to really awaken you into a more balanced state of consciousness. Now, understanding your awakening, it will also come with the integration, okay? And this is the third phase, the integration phase, okay? So when you are realizing that everything that you need is already found within yourself, and everything that you need is right where you are standing right now, you are really beginning to integrate yourself at a different level. You are really beginning to accept also the negative feeling. You are beginning to become the alchemist in the process, okay? So you are realizing that after the dark night of the soul, you actually need to integrate the dark night of the soul, because what I believe to happen is the fact that in the first stage of the spiritual awakening, we are only seeking positive feelings, but in the dark night of the soul and in the integration phase, we also learn to deal with our own shadows. We also learn to deal with our own imperfections. We also learn to deal with something that will really heal us based on accepting also the imperfection. Okay, so you realize that in the spiritual awakening journey, you have the opportunity to really raise your consciousness to the next level. You have the opportunity to really offer the world your gifts, your talents, your skills, and your passions. Okay, so the spiritual awakening journey happens because we have entered into a new age. We have entered into the age of awakening. And really, we are receiving light codes, we are receiving DNA upgrades from the cosmos, because I believe that yes, the cosmos really is awakening, and the cosmos is expanding at an infinite rate. And the more that we begin to integrate these things into our lives, the more that we begin to really awaken our DNA structure, is the more that we are realizing that with the individual energy, we have the power to really influence the collective energy. Okay, so in a way, the work that you need to do is the work that you are doing with your own self, with your own inner world, with your own chakra system, with your own energy field. Okay, so if you understand the spiritual awakening journey, you understand that everything that you need to deal with in your life are the things that you need to deal with your own inner world. Okay, so the integration phase is maybe not easy, but it is something that must be done. And this is where we actually go beyond duality. This is where we begin to integrate the good and the bad. This is where we begin to really embrace and love ourselves unconditionally. We are no longer running away from our pain. We are no longer running away from our negative feelings, but instead we become more courageous. We become more in alignment with what we feel, and we begin to accept what we feel unconditionally. So the integration phase is all about self-love. The integration phase is all about you stepping into the state of consciousness that is represented by the alchemist. Okay, so the alchemist turns every negative experience into his favor. He realizes that the secret is within himself. He realizing that there is no need to harm others. He realizes that it's all about the state of consciousness that fits him best. Okay, now understanding the spiritual awakening will also lead you into the fourth phase, into the fourth stage, and that is the completion process. Okay, that is the state of consciousness that is reflected by a pure state of love. Okay, so the completion process is all about learning that everything that has happened into your life has not happened to you, but more likely was an opportunity for you to really expand your consciousness. Okay, the completion process is making you realize that it has all happened with a purpose for you to get to know yourself. It has all happened with a purpose for you to really embrace every single experience that you had, and realizing that maybe you chose it at a soul level. So in essence, when you are stepping into the fourth stage, you are expressing yourself, you are creating, you are speaking from the heart, you are operating as the consciousness of the universe. You are operating from the consciousness of higher vibrational energies. You are operating from the consciousness of light and love, you know. So you are realizing that in the completion process, everything that has happened has actually happened with a higher purpose. And that purpose was for you to become the state of consciousness that is in harmony with the highest good. Okay, so yes, the spiritual awakening journey is a beautiful gift, but sometimes it comes with negative experiences. Sometimes it comes with lots of pain and suffering. Sometimes it comes with a lot of shadows. Sometimes it comes also with karmic experiences from past lives that you actually need to deal with. So in essence, my suggestion is go within yourself and begin forgiving yourself, begin loving yourself, begin forgiving others, because that is such a beautiful thing. And you realize that in this process, everything that was needed was already found within yourself. So the magician, the alchemist, the awakened person, the complete man knows that everything that he needs is already found within himself. He doesn't judge his feelings, he doesn't judge his experiences, he doesn't regret his past, but in essence he really realizes that it's all about his inner world. It's all about being not dependent on external circumstances to be happy. It's about realizing that he has everything that he needs right here, right now. Okay, so in a way, this is today's message about understanding the spiritual awakening journey and the 4 stages. Okay, now these are my personal 4 stages. You may have your own stages, you may have your own way of awakening, you may have your own way of flowing with life. But this was just a reminder that yes, there are some stages to spiritual awakening, and when you begin to really mature yourself spiritually, you will understand that everything that has happened for you. And in a way, you have your own way of receiving synchronicities. You have your own way of receiving guidance from your higher self. You have your own way of expressing yourself. And you have your own way of living. You have your own way of dealing with life. My suggestion is follow your intuition and get to move into your own way of, into your own rhythm and into your own flow of consciousness. Okay, so yes, individuals are experiencing spiritual awakenings, and it is such a powerful gift. It is such a beautiful gift, and the planet is awakening. We are stepping from the physical realm into the more connected energetic realm. We are stepping from belief to knowing. We are stepping into a higher intuition. We are really making the world become a better place, and this is our job as light workers, to make the world become a better place. Okay guys, so thanks so much for watching, and if you wish to work with me, I do one-on-one coaching sessions. So if you're interested in knowing your spiritual mission at a more advanced level, feel free to contact me at my email address in the description below. And if you're new to the YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, that is appreciated. I love you so much, much peace and see ya. And this was today's message about understanding your spiritual awakening and the 4 stages of a spiritual awakening. I love you so much, much peace, and see you on what is coming up next. Bye bye.